My fellow Minnesotans, what's happening in Minnesota right now defies belief. News reports simply don't do justice to the level of chaos and disruption and trauma the federal government is raining down upon our communities. What's happening in Minnesota 2,000 to 3,000 armed agents of the federal government have been deployed to Minnesota. Armed, masked, and undertrained ICE agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live. They're pulling over people indiscriminately, armed, including U.S. citizens, and demanding to see their papers. Are going door to door, and at grocery stores, at bus stops, even at our schools. They're breaking windows. They're pulling over dragging pregnant women down the street, just plain grabbing Minnesotans and shoving them into unmarked vans. Kidnapping innocent people with no warning and no due process. Let's be very, very clear. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. Instead, it's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of Minnesota by our own federal government. Last week, that campaign claimed the life of Renee Nicole Good. We've all watched the video. Instead, it's a campaign. We've all seen what happened. And yet, instead of conducting an impartial investigation so we can hold accountable the officer responsible for Renee's death, the Trump administration is devoting the full power of the federal government to finding an excuse to attack the victim and her family. Just yesterday, 6 federal prosecutors, including the longtime career prosecutor leading the charge to investigate and eliminate fraud in our state's programs, quit their jobs rather than go along with this assault on the United States Constitution. But as bad as it's been, Donald Trump intends for it to get worse. This week, he went online to promise that, quote, the day of retribution and reckoning is coming. That's a direct threat against the people of this state, who dared to vote against him 3 times, and who continue to stand up for freedom with courage and empathy and profound grace. All across Minnesota, people are stepping up to help their neighbors who are being unjustly and unlawfully targeted. They're distributing care packages and walking kids to school and raising their voices in peaceful protest, even though doing so has made many of our fellow Minnesotans targeted for violent retribution. Folks, I know it's scary. And I know it's absurd that we all have to be defending law and order, justice, and humanity, while also caring for our families and trying to do our jobs. So tonight, let me say once again to Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, end this occupation. You've done enough. Let me say 4 critical things to the people of Minnesota. 4 things I want you to hear as you watch the news and look out for your neighbors. First, Donald Trump wants this chaos. He wants confusion. And yes, he wants more violence on our streets. We cannot give him what he wants. We can. We must protest loudly, urgently, but also peacefully. Indeed, as hard as we will fight in the courts and at the ballot box, we cannot and will not let violence prevail. You're angry, I'm angry. Angry is not a strong enough word. But we must remain peaceful. Second, you are not powerless. You are not helpless. And you are certainly not alone. All across Minnesota, people are learning about opportunities, not just to resist, but to help people who are in danger. Thousands upon thousands of our fellow Minnesotans are going to be relying on mutual aid in the days and weeks to come, and they need our support. Tonight, I want to share another way you can help. Witness. Help us establish a record of exactly what's happening in our communities. You have an absolute right to peacefully film ICE agents as they conduct these activities. So carry your phone with you at all times. And if you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record. Help us create a database of the atrocities against Minnesotans, not just to establish a record for posterity. And if you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record. The third thing I want to say to you tonight is we will not have to live like this against Minnesotans. Accountability not just to establish a record at the voting booth and in court, but to bank evidence will reclaim our communities from Donald Trump. The third thing I want to say to you tonight is we will not have to live like this, and we will bring an end. Accountability is coming at the voting booth and in court. We will find a way to reclaim our communities from Donald Trump. We will reestablish a sense of safety every day. We are working with business leaders, and we will bring an end to this moment of chaos, legal experts, and elected officials. We will find a way to move forward. They've all seen what Donald Trump is trying to do, and will not be alone. And they know their
Every
states
day
could
we
be
are
next.
working with business leaders,
And that brings me to the
faith
fourth
leaders,
thing I want to
legal
say
experts,
and elected
how
officials
incredibly
from
proud
across
I
this
am
country
of the way that you've
They've
risen
all
to
seen
meet
what
this
Donald
unbearable
Trump is
moment.
trying to do to our state.
But I'm not at all surprised.
And they know their
because
states could
this,
be next.
This is who we are.
And that brings me to the fourth
Minnesotans
thing I want to
believe
say
in the
tonight,
rule of
Minnesota.
law. How
And
incredibly
Minnesotans
proud I am
believe in
of the way that
dignity of
you've
all
risen
people.
to meet this unbearable
We're a
moment.
place where there's room
But
for
I'm not at all
everybody.
surprised.
No matter
because
who you
this,
are,
this
or
is who
you
we
love,
are.
or where you came
Minnesotans
from.
believe in the rule
A place
of law.
where we feed our
And
kids.
Minnesotans
We
believe
take care of
in
our
the
neighbors.
dignity of all people.
And we look out for those
We're
in
a
the shadows
place
of
where
life.
there's room for everybody.
We're an island of
no matter
decency
who you are,
in a country
or
being
who
driven
you
towards
love,
cruelty.
or where you came from.
We will remain
a place
an
where we
island of
feed our
decency,
kids,
of justice,
we take care of our neighbors,
community, and we
peace.
look out for those in the shadows of life. We're an island of decency in a country being driven towards cruelty. We will remain an island of decency, of justice,